All right, what is going on, guys? It is time for another episode of the Chasing Waypoints podcast, and we are back. Dakar hangover, we've talked about it already. It is over, and we are back into the swing of things. Have you guys heard our recent episodes? Should be keeping up. You should be following the playlist, following the channel. You know what's going on. You guys are listening and subscribe to the podcast. You also know what is up, and you guys are the OGs. And if you're watching this on YouTube, jump on over. There's a whole playlist of a whole lot of podcasts, 190 episodes. But as they say, dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to talk to none other than Ross Branch. If you guys saw the intro, saw the title, you know who we are talking to today. And we are talking to the number 2 guy at the 2024 Dakar Rally. Absolutely excited to have him on there. Huge shout out to Lizzie for making it happen, getting everybody coordinated. Hey, this 9 to 5 thing, you know, until I cut a Joe Rogan type deal. Wait, can I say that? Yeah, until I cut a deal like that with Spotify, it's going to be a whole nother story. But for now, let's see if we can get our guy on the line. We're going to be talking again, once again, Ross Branch, Hero Motorsports Rally Team Racer. And we're going to be talking a little bit about what his experience was at the Dakar. And I'm curious, I want to go all the way back. How did he get started? How did all of this happen? That is what we're going to be talking about today. So absolutely excited about it. Let's get him going. Let's get the technology queued up here. Now, bear in mind, he is 10 hours ahead of us. So he's already into Friday.
Good morning.
Mr. Branch, good morning.
Well, good evening to you guys. How's it going?
I know, right? I literally just said that. He's 10 hours ahead. So it's a little bit of a time change. And I'm used to being up at 3 a.m. here, which I think would be what, 1 p.m. your time? Somewhere around there?
Yeah. somewhere there.
Yeah, something like that. So, oh, man. So, well, okay, first of all, she will absolutely kill me if I don't say it. Lizzie says hello. So
thank you so much, and a huge hello to Lizzie.
Yeah, it's like if I don't say it, I won't hear the end of it, and that's okay. She's my adopted big sister, so so he's having fun.
That's awesome.
So
awesome.
How are you doing? I mean, are we fully recovered? No more blisters, no more sore ass. Everything is back.
The body is actually feeling amazing, to tell you the truth. It's been a bit crazy, you know, coming back to Botswana, and obviously motorsport in Botswana is not that big, so something like this has exploded, you know, and really been incredible since I've been home. So it's been super busy. Every day I've had something on the go, and started getting back on the bikes and getting ready because we have Abu Dhabi in 2 weeks' time. So yeah, I'm feeling good, feeling strong, and this, you know, I've changed up a lot of things last year. So the body is feeling really good, and obviously things are going well. And what we did last year, we've got to carry on doing this year because I'm feeling really good.
Nice, very nice. And so that, I mean, that was a big one. So I've been like this whole afternoon, I've been watching interviews and just finding out a little bit more. And I mean, there's 2 big things. The more important story to me is how you got started in rally. You know, we wanted to talk about that, but my first question is about the bike. I know I've seen a lot of interviews, and all of a sudden Hero Motorsports is on the, you know, on the radar. They're like, whoa. But you ride the bike is unobtainium. I mean, you can't, even if you had an American Express black card with the best working relationship, I doubt I could go anywhere and swipe that card and get that bike that you're on. So tell me, I mean, is that a little bit different for you? I mean, considering, you know, coming from some of the other brands where, you know, the development is different, I would imagine, and the bike handling and the different things. I mean, how's that journey been?
Definitely. it's been probably one of the best things I've ever done, you know, and so amazing for me, because coming from Africa, you know, we don't really get the opportunity to get on a factory machine, and it's really difficult to get on a factory team. So, you know, joining Hero, it's such a young team. They're only 7 years old, and this was, I think, the 7th or 8th Dakar. So it's really, really young, and we have so much development to do. And as you said, it's completely prototype bike. Yeah. You can't buy them. When I spoke to the team, you know, I think they'd only made 12 or 15 bikes since the beginning, so it's really young. And it's been a pleasure. You know, it's been so you know, awesome working with the team and developing a bike and trying to like sort the bike out exactly how my riding style will fit it. And it's been one hell of a journey and one really interesting journey for me. But I'm so proud and privileged to be on such an amazing team. You know, the team is definitely like a family, and they do anything and everything for you. And we've been doing a lot of testing down in Namibia now, which is such a cool testing and training ground. So yeah, we've done a lot of work to the bike in the past year, but you know, they've started off with such a good base that it was really easy for me to get on the bike and go as fast as I could. Yeah. We just had to work on like the small things. You know, it wasn't anything big. We didn't have to change anything like massively, but the small things we worked on. And I'm so comfortable with the bike now, and I think a lot of that has to do with the people that are managing and running the team. The mechanics are awesome. The engine guys are really cool. The suspension guys are awesome. So it's you know, whenever I go riding my bike, it's like so much fun because we come back with so much information, and there's so many different things that we can try and test and do and stuff like that. So it's been really an amazing ride for me, and yeah, hopefully we can carry this on for the next couple of years, and hopefully I can give back a little bit with some information on the bike, and if we can, you know, get better than we are now, that's awesome. So we just got to keep on moving forward. There's obviously a lot we can still do with the bike and then change it up a little bit. So yeah, looking forward to the next couple of years.
Yeah, I mean that is, and it's, you know, that was one of the curiosities, right? I've always wondered that, like the bike that you came from. You know, was there a moment when you threw the first time you threw a leg over it and it was kind of like, okay, well, you know, let's see how this goes.
For sure, you know, it's coming from such a huge manufacturer like Yamaha was, you know, it's such a big brand in the world, and obviously their factory teams are really, you know, top of their game. So coming from Yamaha and going to Hero was obviously a big step for me, and really not knowing what to expect. You know, you go onto from a team that you got 200 or 300 people working on the rally program, and then you go to a team where you've got 20 people working on the rally program. So it's a huge step, but those 20 people have all the knowledge and experience, and they've really worked well together, and they've put together a really amazing package. And yeah, like I say, it was so big for us as an entire team to do what we did at Dakar now. And I think just for the brand itself, you know, I was lucky enough to fly over to India just after the race, and you know, they were so appreciative of what we've done, and that was the main thing. You know, when you can see that gratefulness, if you want to call it in a better word, from everybody from Hero, it was really a memory that I'll never forget in my life. So yeah, it was a big step, and obviously a big question mark because you're going from such a huge team to a smaller team, but it shows that anything is possible, and you know, the guys are working so hard. So it was really cool for all of us.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I can only imagine. Pun intended, a hero's welcome, you know, to be able to show up and I mean, it always amazes me. I try and be a little bit more the tech and the nerdy, and like you said, you know, like the little things, right? The shifter being in just the right place, the wheelbase being just right, you know. And what's interesting is to me in kind of seeing all this is, okay, so Hero has its choice. All they do is build this race bike. Those 20 people, that's all they do. And when everybody is kind of switching gears and going to a motocross frame, obviously the Austrian bikes and Yamaha before they left the Dakar, you know, on the MX frame, the previous generation Austrian bikes being on a ladder frame. I believe that's what's under the cover on the Hero bike. So I think
that's exactly it.
Okay. So I mean, what are the big, like, is the MX frame going to be the future, or it really is a toss up?
You know, I really think it is going to be the future, just because of the way that rally is going at the moment. They're trying to slow it down. They're trying to make it more tight, more technical. So I think the smaller bike, if you want to call it that, is definitely the way that everybody seems to be going at the moment. Obviously, we've seen Honda come out with a brand new bike, which is incredible for this Dakar, you know, and our bike is amazing, but we have to move with the times, and obviously we've got to test out the MX frame and see what the differences will be. You know, we have been doing a lot of testing, and I think there's a lot more to come in the near future. But I'm really happy with the bike. You know, we actually did a report now just after Dakar and just gave my feelings on what the bike was like, and I really feel that the bike was so stable at high speed and exactly where I wanted it. Sure, you know, when we get into the tight dunes and the tough sections, it's a little bit bigger than the other bikes. But we've also got a few more liters of fuel that we carry, so you know, we don't have to worry about the distances of the fuel. Mm-hmm. So I think all in all, we've got a really good package. But you know, this is racing, and you can never stop, and you can never stop testing and moving forward. So I think the other guys are moving forward every single day. So we're going to do the same thing and carry on testing and see which is better. And who knows, maybe we will come out with a MX type of frame, or maybe we're just going to stay with this one. Only time will tell. But like I say, at the moment we are in a really good place, and I think for this year we're gonna definitely see what we can do to change it up. But the bike is super good at the moment.
Yeah, I feel like that's the. I feel like that is a very hard thing to do. I mean, obviously the results have been climbing, and you put it together, and I mean, and first of all, you know, I didn't say first of all, but you know, it's congratulations. I mean, a second at the world's absolute toughest race, you know, to pull off a second on the bike. I mean, it's cool to see that. Okay, you know, if you watch the progression, it hasn't been a super high, super low, super high, super low. It's been more of like the steady climb and the steady pace, and then all of a sudden it was like, well, there's Ross once again on the podium. Look where he's at. There he's at again. There he's again. It's consistent every time.
I think that's what we've been working towards. You know, consistency is what's winning rallies these days, and you can see that with Ricky and with the guys, Toby. All those guys are so consistent, and those guys are always at the top of the log. You know, so we needed to work on reliability issues from last year. You know, we had some small things go wrong with fuel pumps and stuff like that. So that's this year we've done over 13,000 kilometers in the Namibian desert, and just been doing the reliability stuff. And we know that the bike's got the speed to be up there for sure, but we needed to make sure that every day we're in the game. And you know, that's for Hero, it was huge that we were there every day, but for us as a team, it was really you know, we've been putting in the work, so we are kind of expecting a good result. Obviously the podium was there, but we are kind of waiting, you know, is it out of reach or is it there this year? So for us it was a huge thing. You know, we just wanted to go to get a top 5 and just be in the game and show the guys that we got what it takes. And everything just worked so well, and we didn't have any issues with the bike. You know, there was a big thing over so many kilometers. It's so easy for something to happen to the bike, so we just needed that to go right. And I think they've ironed out all their small issues that they needed to sort out from last year's Dakar to this year's Dakar. So you know, we were definitely moving up and moving forward, and consistently we're getting better and better. And also from my side, you know, I've tried to take a step back and not just be motocross style flat out every day and then end up on my head or out of the race. So I think we changed a lot, but I think we definitely needed it as a team. And obviously, you know, with I think it was 5 or 6 Hondas chasing us down the entire rally, it was important for the one and only Hero to be in the mix there.
Yeah, they were trying. I mean, they stacked the cards in their favor with 6 riders, you know, coming into it, and
for sure.
And that's good. But I mean, it's like the David versus Goliath thing. You know, it's a smaller brand. going at it. And I mean, and that to me, I just absolutely think that's awesome. And to, like I said, I heard in one of the interviews, carving the bike out and making sure that everything is just right and the ergonomics and all of that stuff. Because what you're asked to do, it's not only the it's not only the all out speed, it's the fact that you got to look down at some point to say, like, am I going the right way? So
for sure, I think a lot of people forget that.
Yeah, it's all fun and games until you ride up.
Comfortable.
Yeah, it's all fun and games until you ride up into the sunset, and then we got an issue. ASO's on the phone checking in. We miss you. Where have you been?
Why are you going in the wrong direction?
Why are you going in the wrong direction? You realize the map ends over there. We don't have land use.
That's exactly it.
Yeah, it just turns into this big show, and so it's definitely been interesting. So okay, so now the real part of it. Then there's. I finally figured it. Literally, I'll tell you right now, it literally took me like 6 interviews to figure out where the Kalahari Ferrari came from. I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, okay, it's probably got to do with something like, because he's just so fast, because you're thinking Ferrari and he's fast. And then some interview talking. Awesome. So for those playing the home game, tell us about the nickname. What does it mean and where did it come from?
It's such a special name to me, and I don't think the Ferrari part had anything to do with the speed, if you know where my name came from. So in Botswana, back in the day, our transport was a donkey cart. So it's a little trailer towed behind a donkey, and we still see that often today, especially when I'm riding out in the bush and doing some road books. And we have a famous race in Botswana called the Toyota Desert Race. It's 1,000 kilometers through the Kalahari Desert. And I was in the middle of nowhere at a refuel, and one of these donkey carts came past with a really old guy on it. And he stopped, and he's been watching me for a couple of years. And he said, that our transport is called the Kalahari Ferrari. And you're definitely the fastest Kalahari Ferrari I've ever seen in my life. So keep it up and keep on going. We're rooting for you. And I was just like, you know what? It was so cool that their transport is called the Kalahari Ferrari, because it's a donkey towing a cart. And they just gave me the name. And yeah, it's stuck with me ever since. And it's actually got a good meaning behind it. So it's a really cool name.
It's always, something you'll never forget. So I'm like, it has to be. I'm racking my brain trying to figure out. It's got, and I'm usually pretty good with riddles, and I'm like, okay, there's got to be something. And then I hear that video, and I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me, really?
It's something out of the blue, and you'd never think of it. It's like, but it's really special. And obviously, being in Botswana at the time, and the old man giving me that nickname, it meant a lot. So it's stuck with me ever since, and it's pretty cool. And I'll send you a picture. The picture's pretty cool too. So I'm really happy with the nickname.
Very nice. So. And that brings another. So running road books, like, okay, I believe you used to be or still are an airline pilot, or you still fly planes, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Still flying.
Still flying. So, I mean, how do you, like, what is the training for the Dakar? What is being part of the hero? Like, what's the Ross side of this? Not the hero side.
Yeah, that's such a good question, because a lot of people thought I'd stopped flying as soon as I'd signed with Yamaha and with Hero. So then, I'm extremely lucky, and it just works out so well that our World Championship has a long break. This year we've got four months of a break just in the off season while it's summertime. Mm-hmm. And it fits in perfectly with us, because in Botswana, in the Okavango Delta is a huge tourist area. So during our off season, I go and fly for a couple of months, and just taking tourists in and out of the Delta to some amazing lodges out there, and it's cool for me. I'm really proud of my country, and I love Botswana. So for me to go and take tourists around and show them how beautiful our country is, and give them an experience of a lifetime, lifetime is really cool. And I work with a company called Mac Air, and my boss is such a nice guy. You know, they've got such a good deal with me that when I'm training during the season, I don't fly, and I just focus on racing and rally. And then when I've got an off season, I fly, and they gave me 2 days a week off just to go and do my training and keep on doing some road books and stuff. So it's a bit of a balance and a bit of a, you know, just a change in the scenery for a month or two. And yeah, I really enjoy it. It's beautiful to fly airplanes, and especially up there in the Delta, seeing all the wild animals every day and taking people on a trip for a lifetime is really special to me. So yeah, you know, after racing, I want to do something. So that's definitely the plan is to go and fly some more. But at the moment, I've got a really cool life where I get to fly half the year and I get to race motorbikes the other half of the year. So I'm not complaining.
Yeah. Just basically flying around everywhere on desert, 2 wheels, whatever, airplane, whatever. You know? Yeah. You just fly everywhere. I just try not
to crash the plane as much as I crash my bike. That's the main thing.
That is sound advice. Sounds like a pretty good plan to me. So a lot of the guys that listen to this, so the podcast, the Chasing Waypoints podcast, it's always kind of, I've always geared it more towards the beginner guy, all of us, the rookies and all that stuff. So what was that like? When did the first road book happen? I mean, all the way back to that. How did you even stumble into this? I mean, I am fully aware that rally racing is bigger everywhere else in the world than in the US. In the US, it's like soccer. It's not really people dabble in it.
You know, and it's so crazy because I think there's so many beautiful places in the US to ride road books and stuff like that. And I think Ricky and Skylar have really taken rally to the next level. So I think it's going to blow up there, you know. But I think Botswana may be giving the US a bit of a go for not having no rallies, you know. There's absolutely no rally or any kind of that kind of event in Botswana. So we just got like the Baja kind of racing, the same as you guys have there. So it was always, you know, we watched the Dakar rally in 1992 when I was really young. I went to watch it with my dad because at that time it was going from Dakar to Cape Town. So my dad drove me 3,000 kilometers to watch literally one day of racing and just watch them cruise past us. And I always wanted to do it from then on. And, you know, then I needed to go the right direction. I couldn't just go straight into rally at a really young age. So I was a professional motocross rider. I lived in Germany for 6 years and then came back to South Africa and then started, you know, chipping away at the dream of going to Dakar to ride Dakar. And when I was riding for a team here and the boss said, listen, I'll help you get to Dakar, but you need to win a South African national championship. So we know you've got the speed to go and compete at Dakar. So that was the deal. As soon as I won a championship, then we could start working on getting to Dakar. And yeah, probably the toughest part of our lives for me and my family was the first Dakar. You know, we had to raise over $100,000 just to go there. And luckily enough, you know, my CV was pretty good. I didn't need to worry about doing a qualification race, so we could afford it just to go to Dakar. I raised money, and we had to raise over $100,000. And yeah, the first one was really crazy. But you know, the guys that did come on board with me said to me, "Please, we just need to finish this year, and after that, we'll go for some better results." So yeah, the first year, 2019, South America was good for me. You know, it was a big learning curve. I'd never ridden with the navigation stuff. I'd only done probably 3 or 4 road books. Didn't even know what half of the noises meant. I didn't know what half of the indications on the road book meant. I'll never forget the first prologue. You know, it was 88 kilometers, and I stopped at every single organization vehicle to check that I was on the right track because I had no idea what the map was telling me, and it was really strange, really hard. But
is there any way to mute this? How do you mute this? It's beeping at me. It keeps beeping at me. I don't get it.
exactly. What is it telling me? You know, what is the beeping doing? And
so I was like 630 hours of speed zone penalties, but whatever.
Exactly. So it was super strange for me, but you know, I used that rally to get into to try and figure out how everything worked, and I managed to get Rookie of the Year. Nice. So, and I finished 13th place, so it was good for us. And then you know, I really thought that I'd left something on the table, and obviously there was no offers or anything from some factory teams or any privateer teams that wanted to have me on board. So I knew that I had to go back again and just give it my all and see what the best was. Was I fast enough to run with the top guys, you know, and just give me some sort of sign that I could carry on rally racing. So we had to raise another $100,000 for the second year, which was just as much stress as the first year and a couple of sleepless nights. But then we went on to the second year, and I basically told all my sponsors, I said, okay, well, this is it. We've got to go for it. You know, we're all in. So we're either going to try and get a result where people open their eyes and see me, or we're going to go home in a helicopter and just give up on the rally dream. So yeah, luckily enough, 2020 stage 2, I won it. And I think that was, you know, just an indication for myself, you know, not for anyone else, but for me that I've got what it takes to win a stage. And obviously, if you can win a stage at the Dakar these days, then you're in a good place to rally race. So I knew it was going to be a long road because, you know, the other guys have got so much more experience. They've got hundreds of road books under their belt compared to me of 3 or 4 road books. So then that was it. That was the beginning really of a rally dream. And I just tried to ride as many road books as I could. You know, last year I did a road book, you know, 2 road books every week for the whole entire year. And it was I just needed to get the experience and try and catch up the missing miles that I've missed with coming into rally a bit later than others. But that was the dream, and really proud, really privileged to be on such an amazing team and to see the journey we've taken to get here to finally start paying off. You know, I was even paying off some debt last year from our first Dakar, so it's been a long, tough road, but we finally made it into a position where we can look back and say every risk was worth it. And I think for the beginners and for everybody that wants to get into rally racing, I think guys need to go for it. You know, it's such an amazing sport. It's at the end of the day, it's not the fastest guy who's going to win. It's the guy that can navigate the best at a good speed. So it's a really tough sport, but so much fun to do. And I really think that we need more people to get involved in the sport. It is good fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that was it. 100% agree. I think it's Matthew Glade that will go down in history for that, is saying, you know, just look at the used gear market. You know, you look around and see how many people are selling stuff that they've previously purchased, and you could jump on eBay and try and look for an Ico and you're not going to find them, which is which is crazy. So obviously it shows the level of we'll go ahead and say addiction to once you get started on this, you know, you get bitten by the bug. But so it's something, I mean, you've seen the progression. I mean, you mentioned, you kind of alluded to it earlier about how they're trying to slow you guys down. Hey guys, what's going on? This is Victor with the Chasing Waypoints podcast. Hey, super quick break in the episode. Let's talk about it. We have got the newsletter. If you have not signed up for that already, get on over to the link in the description, head on over to the website and get signed up. So looking to bring you guys information on both Chasing Waypoints upcoming episodes, rally schools, rally events coming up, videos, all the stuff that we've got going on in the rally community here in North America and abroad. We're looking to share that with you guys. So if you haven't already, jump on over. Link is in the description. Head on over to the website, get signed up for the newsletter, and let's get back to the episode. How, like, you've seen how the road books have changed, right? I mean, is it really, I mean, like a South American road book versus, you know, Saudi 2024? Are they two different things?
Yeah, for sure. And it's really good to actually look back and see that because, so many people forget of where rally racing came from and how they actually started. And one of the things for me, I'm so passionate about the sport. I go back and I look at the road books from 1986, 1987, and you can't even compare the two, So now we're just talking a quick 5-year or 6-year gap. And the road books from Peru are completely different to the road books from Saudi this year. And obviously we're going the digital way, which is going to be interesting for the sport as well. But the rally's definitely changed. Personally, I don't think they need to slow it down because rally racing is rally racing. I think it's been like that since it started, and we just need to keep the show on the road, and not go too hectic with trying to slow it down or trying to make it more difficult. I think rally racing is already hard enough. I think we actually in a good place now. Rally racing, the progression has been good. We've got a world championship. We haven't had a world championship in a long time, so we've got a really good world championship going at the moment. So yeah, I think it's really good for the sport where we are going, but I think they still need to just hold on to the good old days of rally racing and not to try to do too many crazy things and change the sport too much. It is a fantastic sport, and we just need to keep it as it is, I think.
Okay, so you would definitely be opposed to them making a 250cc limit on the bike.
Yeah, definitely.
That's going to give a whole new meaning to a Doomsday.
For sure. I think, and it'll just be such a long day, It's going to be, the bike will be revving so much more than a 450, and wow, it would be really crazy. But, on the other hand, maybe it's a little bit more affordable for people to come in that way. So I think the ASO and the Dakar just need to work on getting more people involved in the sport. I think that's what we need. We need a future. It always used to be, when I was looking at Dakar, you could never come in as a 25-year-old because you're too young. You need to come in at 35 years old, 36 years old, with a bit of racing experience throughout your life and come in. So the older guys were always doing the Dakar, and now you see a lot more younger guys coming in. But I think we need to, push some more for even younger guys. You need to start coming into Dakar at 20 years old, 25 years old. That's the age that you need to start coming in, and I think ASO need to definitely push that just for the future of the sport.
Yeah, I agree. It definitely is not just seeing the younger crowd. Obviously it opens it up to more people, but like junior programs. I mean, I know I was actually talking with Willem Avenant a few weeks ago about the new point system and how people are going to have to qualify to get into it, and it's like they're working towards it, but sometimes it feels like they are, and then sometimes it feels like they don't care. It probably sounds bad, sure. But it just like which one? I mean, rally racing, I think we can all agree is when you're trying to put your foot in the door and trying to get into rally racing. It's so expensive, $100,000 just to enter the race and to go to Dakar, and then with the point system and like if we had this point system when I was trying to get into rally, I probably would never have been able to get into it because it's so expensive. Mm-hmm. So I would never be able to do a qualifying event before, So I understand that they're trying to get people to come into rally and do a cheaper one first and then go and do Dakar. But at the same time, I think, they need to also, focus on the guys that have not so much money and they want to come into the sport. So I think they just need to, open the vision and keep it a wide vision and try and help as many people as we can get into rally racing and get into the Dakar and stuff. I think it's important. But the numbers are healthy at Dakar for sure. Yeah. But it could decline in a hurry, and we just need to make sure we don't get that. So I think you hit the nail on the head. Sometimes they're trying to push for the new guys to come into the sport. At other times, it's a little bit different. So we'll just have to wait and see. Obviously, me being Southern African, if you want to call it that, and we try to push it as much as we can. I try to get as many guys as I can to come and train with me in Namibia and try and just teach them the road book, and then it's way cheaper to do that. Some people don't get it at all, and then there's no point in going to spend $50,000 at a Morocco or something like that when you're not going to get the navigation side of things. So I think
there's a lot we can still do, but I think it's healthy at the moment. So we just got to keep it that way.
Yeah, exactly. Don't let it dwindle. And I mean, and that's a good point, because now the entry barrier just went from 100,000 to 150,000, because you have to do a feeder race, and you actually probably maybe even have to do 2, or you run the risk of having to do 2 if you don't finish one. If you put all your money on Abu Dhabi and you don't finish it, well, now you got to go. You got to go and do it all over again at one of the other rounds. So it definitely makes it difficult. And so, and speaking of difficult, and I think what did you think about the chrono stage this year? Is that a good move?
I think the idea behind it was amazing. If we take the riding out of it, then I would say that it was such an amazing stage, because, Dakar is so crazy at the moment. You don't actually get to spend time with many competitors, and if you want to call it, it's bench racing. So we love the bench racing between all the competitors, and the whole point behind the chrono stage, where we all get to sleep out in the middle of the dunes with nothing, was incredible. It was so cool to be with all the guys and just hear their stories and actually get to mingle and talk to one another. Was absolutely awesome. The riding side of things, I think they pushed the barriers a little bit too much, riding 8 hours a day, and I mean the top guys, exactly. The front runners did 512 Ks in the dunes. It's ridiculous. It was crazy. And mentally for us, it really pushed the limits and pushed the boundaries. But also on the other side, it took the racing side away a little bit, because everybody was so scared to break a bike. So I think I think everyone was going a little bit slower, just to look after the bikes, which I guess is a part of the whole Dakar scenario. But I think 500 Ks in the dunes was a little bit too much. But it was good. I think they needed to change it up a little bit. I think it made it exciting for everybody watching the Dakar back home, and obviously, strategy played a huge part this year. There was no one really knew what the strategy was like, and which was a good strategy, which was a bad strategy. So I think it definitely mixed the race up a little bit. But all in all, I enjoyed it. It's just the 512 Ks in the dunes was a little bit too much.
That's kind of the feeling I got. 10 minutes in the dunes is too much for me. I haven't actually ridden in the dunes, but that's more or less what I think is going to happen. There you go. I'm just going to walk
that's
back.
Exactly it.
So I think that, I could see in a picture, like I can see in a future where, this time around, it almost like you had to be paying attention to almost realize that you missed the marathon stage. Cause usually, the Dakar 2023, the Dakar marathon stage, this is where riders are all, they hype it up so big, and this year it was like they forgot about it, and they're like, look, here's the new shiny thing, it's the chrono stage. So part of me feels like they're gonna, I feel like they may even in the future just say, like, we're gonna scrap the marathon stage and we're just gonna do 2 chrono stages. Something, to that effect, maybe. Because everybody, like what you're saying, the people that I've talked to have kind of shared that sentiment. Like, it's really cool. I'm not sure about so much dunes, but I like the idea,
Yeah.
So
I think you correct. I think it's going to go that way for sure. And especially now, that it was, everybody at home was commenting on it. It's not only about the riders, but it's about the audience that the Dakar gets. And I think there were so many positive comments about the chrono stage, because, everyone was so interested in it. And I think that everybody was glued to the TV screens and the app during that chrono stage, because nobody really knew who was going to win. And it's 2 days of suspense, it's 2 days of wondering where the guys are. And obviously, with Dakar showing the guys that are also at the back of what it's like to do that chrono stage at the back. So I wouldn't be surprised if we have a couple more, but I don't think the organization will make us do what we did this year. I think they saw as well that it took out like 1/3 of the whole all the biking competitors, at least, so it was definitely a high nutrition rate. So
we're sorry, guys.
Sorry, guys. Yeah.
Sorry.
And I think that I think they had to rescue everyone out the dunes, which is harder for them than it was for anyone else. So.
That's and it's interesting. I happen to know that there's a whole nother team. I've worked hand in hand with the ASO at Sonora Rally, and I was brought on to I was introduced to the whole thing that there's a whole separate team that does rescues and recovery for the day. So they have a whole team that does the ones the previous day and the day before that. They have a backlog of people out in the desert that they need to grab. It's crazy. But in the meantime, we get to see, so-and-so at the top lists this, and then that's it. The bike got rescued and that's it. But you have no idea of the other 130 motorcycles that are out there, and how they're
that are stuck in the middle of the dunes that's it. And it's really crazy.
It's absolutely crazy. But hey, here we are. We enjoy watching it. I enjoy keeping track of the kids, as I say, and it's
for sure.
It's a lot of fun. So, okay. So in closing, and I kind of, the one question I like to ask is, okay, so Hero says we need you to go testing, race pace, full support, bike is ready to go. We will fly it anywhere in the world. Where are you going? Yeah. What's the stage?
That's a really good question. I've been fortunate enough and lucky enough to travel a lot and go and train with a lot of different people in a lot of different places. Obviously, I've done the normal, the Dubais, the Moroccos and stuff. I would like to go back to South America somewhere for sure. But on the other hand, Namibia is so good for training. We've got everything. We've got the open desert, we've got the dunes, we've got the ocean, we've got the cold weather, we've got the hot weather, we've got a mix of everything. We've got some really hard navigation, some really easy navigation. So, I'm really happy with Namibia, and we've changed, and the whole team is actually coming out and training, and that's what we did last year for the first time. So I think it worked really well for us and worked in our favor. We got some good road books there. It was relatively new. No one's been riding there yet. So I would say go back to Namibia.
Nice. All right. Nice. Yeah. Because I think that's the thing with rally, and really actually it's kind of at any level, even at the US with the very limited amount of rallies that we have. If you were to commit a whole season, Willem and I have talked about this, and it's like, a lot of people will judge people by the Dakar. It's like, well, have you done the Dakar? But there's many other rallies and so many other places to see. You could literally just travel the world doing these small little rallies and get to see so many things with the cost of one Dakar.
Exactly. And so many amazing places. There's some of the rallies I look at. I follow a lot of rally pages and everything. And for instance, they back in Saudi Arabia doing a Baja rally now and going through some amazing terrain again, So if you go to the Sonora rally was one of my favorites. It was, the people are so friendly. You get to see so many different cultures. So for sure, if you take a budget that you're going to spend on Dakar plus the qualifying race, you could probably race around the whole world for the same amount of money and go to some really special places. So definitely. And, I think rally does that for a country and for a place. It brings out the beauty and takes you to places that you'd never go and visit unless you are racing bikes.
Yeah. That's, if you want to see the world, right? It's easier with the road book.
And having fun, having fun doing it.
Very true. The rally crowd is definitely different. And so actually, you know what? I apologize. I lied. I've just thought of another question, and only this question because of what you mentioned earlier about, with traveling with your dad to go see the last day of the race, the Africa Eco Race. Yeah. Would you consider doing that because of the new route, or basically they've taken over the old Dakar? That's
for sure. Yeah, I would love to do it. I've actually spoken to our team about it. And, if it was a different time of the year and didn't interfere with any world championships or with Dakar, then maybe it would be a possibility. But I think I follow it really closely while it's on, while I can. Unfortunately, this year they clashed a lot with Dakar. So I followed the first half of the race, and a couple of my friends were riding it, and it looked like amazing. I think it would be cool just to say that you've done it. Obviously, obviously coming from Africa, we've got the legend Alfie Cox, and I speak to him a lot about rally racing and what it was like. And he said, Ross, it's like completely different in Africa to what we have now. So, just to see what they've been through and what they did and what the kind of terrain and what it was like. It's not only about terrain. I think Dakar is hugely about the culture and the cities and the places that you go through. I think Dakar definitely is a big thing like that. So to see what they went through, what they rode through. I mean, you hear all these crazy stories about, oh yeah, I broke down and I had to stay there until the truck came, and that was 24 hours later. Yeah. Meanwhile, these days, you picked up within like 20 minutes. There's a helicopter there, or there's one of the organization vehicles there to pick you up. So I think it's completely different, and I would like to see what they went through. They said they had no service, they had no communication with the outside world for days on end. So definitely, I would like to do it one day. Maybe after Dakar days, I'm not too sure yet, but we'll see. I think everyone should start working together and try and include it in a championship for sure. It would be fun to have it, but yeah.
Yeah, I feel like
it is what it is.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know if there's maybe some old school, ASO that are maybe a little bit jealous of, that they're basically taking over the route of the Dakar of old. The
OG.
Yeah, there might be a little bit of, but I guess that's right. And like I had a chance to to sit down and speak with Laurent Lassard.
Yeah.
And he was telling me some of those crazy, minefields and roads that had to be cut because, don't go off course because we don't know if there's mines there. So just stay where we cut I'm like, and
yeah, crazy stories.
Blown away. It's like, wow. So yeah, I think it would be, I agree with you is that it would be really awesome to see them work a little more together. And split the rallies apart, do something. But then I also know in that part of the world, it's, it all comes down to weather. So, you either can do it or you can't.
Yeah, and I think one of the stories that always stuck with me, it was Alan Declos. He was a stage winner from Dakar back in the day, and he was helping me a lot, going to my first and second Dakar. He helped me with a lot of things, and he just told me a story about the African Dakar that he rode for so long that he saw no forms of life. There was no plants, there was no grass, there was nothing, and he got to the end of a 600 or 700 kilometer stage, and he saw a field with grass, and he said that he was so happy to see something living that he went and he lay in the grass for 20 minutes. He just lay in the grass and was so happy to see it. And I was just like, wow, it's the kind of crazy stories that you'd never think of. He said that he had never seen such an open space in his entire life. He'd never seen anything like it. So, things like that would stick with me. And I think if we had to get into that area, obviously, safety is a big concern these days. And with big rallies going to places like where terrorism is there and there's a threat, then I think the ASO stay away from it. So I really hope in the future we could get one there, or even better, come to Southern Africa and have a rally here. It would be a dream come true. But hopefully we can get back into Africa and have a rally. I think it would be really cool.
Nice. Yeah, I think that again, continue to expand the sport and then allow. Even if it was like a Dakar Mini or something along those lines where they're
for sure. Yeah.
Again, geared towards the qualifying events, something a little bit more basic to allow more people in and at least start on the road to qualifying. We already know they're making it difficult to get into the main show, the Dakar, but
for sure,
like you said, so kind of tone it down a little bit and get people in there.
Yeah, make it a little bit cheaper, make it affordable for people, and like I suggested to them, maybe we need something like a wild card entry, or maybe say, hey, we're going to Mexico for Sonora Rally. 10 citizens of Mexico will get an entry fee at 5,000 euros instead of 10,000 euros, kind of thing. So I think there's a couple of ways that we could do it, but there's a lot of people that want to do it, and I think ASO have to make sure that they get the right people into Dakar. So we'll see what happens in the future, but definitely pushing to promote the sport and get the people that haven't had a chance of rally life yet and get them into the game for sure.
Nice. Yeah, I 100% agree. I mean, and it's just working together, and with a lot of people is just like, okay, you know, what are the recipes? That's a lot of the stuff that I try and share, you know, is like, okay, this is where it starts, you know, and if, you know,
the how to get involved, you know, for sure.
Either definitely. Whether it's a volunteer or if it's printing out a road book to the local coffee shop, whatever. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
You got to start somewhere, you know. So okay, so closing. Definitely. What's okay? You got what? 2 weeks to Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, we got a couple of weeks now to Abu Dhabi, and then after that we got Portugal and then Argentina, which I'm really excited about. And I think it's going to be, you know, to start off Dakar with, start off the year with a Dakar like that is awesome for me personally. You know, it sets us up for a good year, and we just got to keep it on two wheels, keep the wheels turning, and yeah, you know, now at least we've got some sort of opportunity to give the best we can for the World Championship, and we don't start on the back foot like we did last year. So I think it's going to be, I'm just going to make sure that it's a good year for us and have some fun. You know, I really enjoy traveling to these cool places, and rally racing is my life at the moment, and really enjoying every second of it. So going to do that, and then like I say, I've got an off season where I'm going to go fly some airplanes, and the cool thing is doing some road books up in the Okavango Delta. You know, last year I came across a lot of different things, and elephants and lions, and there was some good things coming across on a motorbike. So it was interesting. So nice. It keeps the excitement up when I'm not racing. So looking forward to a nice strong year this year.
So I mean, the ability to in your backyard have the road books, have to be able to do all of that stuff, get all that, and then Hero backing you, and you guys are doing the full season and traveling the world. I mean, this is, I'm excited to see this, because it's like, it's the year, you know, that Hero's kind of been, you know, working towards, and ever since you joined with them, it's just been this like constant progression. So
yeah, and it's exciting times for everybody, and I think everyone's still on the edge of their seats. You know, everyone's motivated from Dakar, so I think it's going to be an exciting one, and we're just going to have some fun, and that's why we race, is because we love the sport, and I'm really proud and privileged to be in the position I am to go and travel the world and just do what I love doing. So really happy at the moment.
Very nice. And so my question is this, is when you're on the plane, are you critiquing how the guys are landing? I could have 100%. This guy got his pilot's license 2 days ago.
Yeah, I don't know. He's got sweaty hands when he has a bad landing. So I'm like, I know the feeling. Don't worry.
Meanwhile, the rest of the passengers are clapping.
Yes, that was a good one. Yes, yeah. Like they say, any landing that you can walk away from is a good one. So
yeah, I feel like that's true.
Yeah, for sure.
Very nice, very nice. Well, Rossi, I greatly appreciate you taking the time. I know it's early in the morning for you. I don't know if you're a morning person, but
it's. Yeah, I love the mornings in Botswana are the best. You know, it gets up to 40 degrees Celsius here in Botswana. So early mornings is the time for training and just being grateful for what we've got. So yeah, for sure. And I love talking to you guys. And a big thank you to Lizzie for putting this together. She's awesome. And really, really cool. And thank you so much for having me on the show. I really appreciate it. And hopefully we can get some good results at the year and chat to you guys again soon.
Absolutely. Yeah. We will definitely be glued and following along. I think I've pretty much committed to doing the series now, keeping an eye on you guys.
Awesome, Rod. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Enjoy, and we'll talk soon.
Definitely. Have a good day, man.
You too. Thank you. See ya.
Bye.
All right. So there you have it. Mr. Ross Branch, the Kalahari Ferrari. Did you know where that came from? I didn't. I was like, spent the last, I don't know, two hours. I'm like, there's got to be something clever behind it. And then all of a sudden it was some random interview that I saw, and it was like, look at all these nicknames around the bivouac. And I'm like, oh my God, are you serious? So very nice, very awesome. Doing a lot of research, and really it did come out, it's like, okay, well, Hero Motorsports, the Hero bikes, we started looking, and I saw this, I saw this on the Dakar Daily. This is where I found out that Hero Motorsports, or Hero Motorcycles, being one of the largest manufacturers, in the world of motorcycles, commuter bikes, scooters, things like that. Previous partnerships with some of the major brands and building and doing bikes and then kind of striking it out on their own and making it happen, to now this, the Hero Motorsports Team Rally bikes is Hero Motorsports division, they don't do any, they're not worried, at least from what I see, they're not necessarily worried about like, okay, we're going to take the suspension setup, the chassis geometry and all of that stuff from this 450 rally bike, and we're going to put it in this production bike. They don't care. They literally, I didn't know, but it sounds like they actually have acquired Speedbrain, who originally did the bikes for them, and say, okay, you are now we build race bikes. That's what we do. So I think it's very awesome to see that. And when you have, and that was why I asked the question, is like, okay, well, when you have the pick of the litter, I have no, I can make this bike, and if I want to make it an MX frame today and I want to make it a trellis frame tomorrow, I can do that. I can build whatever I want. I have no restriction. I have no 10 years down the road, this is going to be a production bike, so we got to make sure it's good. You don't have to do that. And so how do you change it and say, this is the best? This is literally what we want. This is how we're going to design. We're going to take the best from this, the best from that. I'm going to say it. I'm not really sure, who they picked, but based on what I could see on some of the pictures, it's pretty well covered up, but I have a feeling that it might be WP forks on the front of it. I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but that's the whole thing. It's like you get a chance to pick all of the best things, all of the things that you say like, okay, well, this is the best of this, who knows? Maybe it's a WP front fork with a Showa rear shock. I don't know. Maybe, who knows? What if we did MX Tech? Maybe some MX Tech stuff would be kind of cool, but I don't know. I think that's the cool part. And then maybe what we see is that they develop, as Ross was kind of mentioning, in the change and how they're trying to slow down the Dakar and trying to do different things. Maybe what we end up seeing is a change in, okay, well, this is our, as long as they don't mandate it, they say, okay, this is our Dakar bike. Why? Because big long dune sections, 200 kilometers, of flat out, right on the rev limiter, right on the, versus other stages or other rallies where, okay, this is tighter and more technical. And, we could really benefit from running a MX style frame bike, maybe a couple liters less in fuel because it's more hard pack. It's not the dunes. We know we're not going to be consuming as much fuel. Who knows? Would they even go that far? Because then at the same time, it's like, well, it starts playing tricks with the riding style. Maybe they lose out on precious development time, because I'm sure like any other race team, every time the bike goes out, it's development. It's not just for when you say, okay, we'll take, for example, one of the biggest teams on the radar this year at the Dakar in 2024 was the Cove team. They were upfront about it. Hey, these are some things, these are the things that we found with the bike that are wrong and that need further development. And we're doing it right now. And these bikes that are at the factory aren't leaving until we do this to them, so it turns out, that obviously racing is a development program. We already know that. But then furthermore, it's also like what they do in the off season and how, between the rallies and what they develop and what they're able to do. I mean, it's not like Formula One, right? Formula One, 32.2 minutes of, wind tunnel time, and you can't do this and you have this budget and don't overspend on the shrimp because then you won't have enough for the tires and the lug nuts cost too much this year. So you're going to have to cut back on the salad dressing and, all of these different things that go back and forth and budgets and stuff like that. So it's really curious to see, like we said, hey, if you had a great relationship with American Express and you could buy anything you want for a race bike and make anything you wanted out of it, which way would you go? So it sounds like that's what Hero Motorsports has done with their bikes, and that's what they're developing. And I think that they're going to be the team to watch. I mean, it's them versus Honda for this year's events, the World Rally Raid Championship. So we'll see. It's obviously it's going to be one of the two bikes. I think Honda's got a really strong team this year. Hero's going to have their work cut out for them. But if Hero can continue to disrupt that, you have Beretta, you have Ross Branch, on the team, both very, very good riders, so who knows? I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Would you buy a Hero if you could? If they said, okay, if they lined up the KTM, if they were all $5,000, KTM, Fantic, Hero, a Cove, you know, which one would you go for? What would be the bike? What do you guys think? So if you're on Spotify, you know what to do. Hit that Q&A section, drop what you think. What would you do? What would you be writing? If they all were $5,000 or you had the corporate credit card, which one would you buy? So if you're on YouTube and watching this, drop the comment down below. What did you guys think? Who should we get next? We are going to be taking a little bit of a break on the interviews for the next couple of weeks. Probably just be some solo stuff on what I'm working on and prep stuff. We've got Coast to Coast Rally getting ready to leave for that one here in just a few weeks. Actually, next week. So that one's sneaking up. We're doing development. If you guys saw, I posted a story earlier today doing some stuff with the rally comp, doing some testing around the house, you know, just making sure, just looking at some things, figuring out how things work, you know, always be testing just like the race teams do. So very awesome stuff there developing along that. And then right behind that, we've got the SoCal Rally, which I am looking forward to. I have got a Husky 501 that I need to prep before the Cove. The Cove's coming. I just need to, anybody know who wants a 790 with 4,000-ish miles on it? Just saying, I got one in the garage, but that's the plan. You know, I got the 501. I got to get ready. I want to do some riding, do some more videos. I'm sure, you know, this is, you know, I enjoy doing the podcast and talking to people and meeting all that stuff. And we're going to have some great campfires and some great conversations out at the rally. And I'm absolutely excited for that. I'm absolutely excited to see the bivouacs coming up in a week or so here for the Coast to Coast Rally, which I think is going to be a lot of fun. So I don't know. We'll see. All right. Well, that is a wrap for today's show. I appreciate you guys tuning in, wherever that may be from. If that is over on the podcast side of things, or if you're watching this on YouTube, it's greatly appreciated. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe, do all that stuff. Hit the bell notification. Yeah, hit the bell notifications if you're on YouTube. And then if you are on Spotify, you're probably already a subscriber, and I appreciate that. If you're on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, YouTube Podcasts, iHeartRadio, there's about 10 different channels, all sorts of stuff. So I appreciate everybody that's tuning into the shows. Absolutely excited to see what the 2024 season holds. We got a lot coming, doing some more videos and stuff tomorrow. We'll have some more updates for you guys. Got a lot of products going, got a lot of really cool stuff. I did some really cool things for the 501 and getting it ready. That I'm very, like, I've been up since 3 a.m. It is now 10 o'clock at night. And I'm literally amped to just get in the garage, clean up a little bit because it looks like a hurricane went through there, and get the 501 ready. Triple clamps, shark fins, just bolt on cool stuff. And, you know, I don't know. I have the worst shiny object syndrome. It's horrible. Absolutely horrible. Anyway, okay. That is a wrap, guys. Remember, it'll make sense when you get there. Enjoy the ride. All right. That is a wrap for the Chasing Waypoints podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Looking forward to our next one coming up. Remember, if you are out riding, do not forget to tag us at Chasing Waypoints. Hashtag Chasing Waypoints. And if you haven't already, get on over to the website. Get signed up for the newsletter, The Bivouac. North America's rally raid and adventure riding newsletter. Hey, let's have some fun. Let's find out what are you guys up to. Let's get you featured. If you're a brand and looking to get supported, get some eyeballs, get some ears on your business. Absolutely, hit us up. Send us a message at podcast at Chasing Waypoints. But anyway, that is a wrap. Remember, shiny side up. See you guys.